Welcome to Civils360 IPL program. This is a workshop regarding how to crack prelims. So, even though this session is going to be brief, this is going to be the most useful session that you have ever attended for prelims. So, what we are going to do is, uh, many students they find it really difficult to clear prelims, despite studying so many things and despite studying for months. Most often there are students who fail to clear prelims. So in this session, I will show you why that happened and what should be your strategy. What should be your strategy if you need to clear prelims in the minimum possible time. See, often students study for so many months, but still they don't have a look uh, on. They don't have a look. They don't try to understand how questions are asked for prelims and how uh, we should strategize the study materials. How we should limit our study materials in order to have the maximum efficiency in preparation. So, in order to do that, what we have to do is we should understand the nature of questions that are asked in UPSC Prelims exam. Only by understanding the nature of prelims can we arrange our preparations accordingly. The sources, the type of question papers that we have to work out, the type of strategy, that all depends on the type of questions that are asked for the UPSC Prelims exam. So the first step towards the assured success in UPSC exam is understanding the exam. Be it prelims, be it mains, be it interview. First, you have to do is the first and the most important thing you have to do is understanding the syllabus, understanding the questions, and understanding how the questions are being framed by UPSC. So, what I will do is I will take a few questions from the UPSC Prelims 2020 and I will show you how you could have done it differently or how you should prepare for the upcoming Prelims exam. So we will proceed towards that. In the UPSC Prelims exam, broadly the question that comes for the exam can be divided into two parts. See, one is the static part and one is the current affairs part. See, every question that comes in the UPSC Prelims exam can be categorized under these two heads, static part and the current affairs part. And now I will analyze and show you the kind of questions that are being asked under each section and how they are being asked and how our strategy should be. See, from the static part, for prelims you have to focus on few standard basic text. For example, modern India follow the spectrum textbook, ancient and medieval India, the Tamil Nadu textbook, Tamil Nadu ancient medieval India textbook for +1. For polity, follow Lakshmi Kant, environment, follow Shankar Ganesh, and for economics, follow the macroeconomics textbook. And culture, often people find it hard to prepare for culture because often the questions are unpredictable and you have to put in a lot of time in order to mug up all those things. So it's optional. If you are aspiring for a service, then it's not wise to leave the cultural part at once. So in my opinion, the most cost benefit textbook are those of NCERT. But often from the few cultural questions that are asked for prelims, if they ask 3-4 questions, at least 1-2 questions usually comes from the Tamil Nadu textbook. So NCERT is optional if you are out of time. If you're out of time, NCERT, if you leave the NCERT and focus on Tamil Nadu textbook. So this will do regarding the static part. For the static part, study this and this alone. Even after studying these textbooks, in the exam, you can see a lot of questions that are outside, that comes from outside the things that we study from this 1, 2, 3, 4 this 6-7 textbooks. One more thing for the geography part, Indian geography and physical geography, NCRT +1, +2. These two texts should also be covered for the static part. So even after studying all these 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 textbooks, there are always questions that comes outside of it. And regarding the current affairs part, we often study a lot of compilations. There is compilations for vision and various institutes. They all publish compilations that can be studied close to the prelims exam. But those students who have at least written prelims once after serious preparation will know that even after studying volumes of data for this prelims topic, when the question comes, they are often unheard of. Like they still manage to ask questions that we haven't studied. So why does this happen? Why for the static topic there are a lot of questions outside the static topic, and also even for the current affairs part, despite studying a lot of data, we never get enough questions for the prelims directly. See, this happens because the basic thing you should understand is that UPSC prelims is not about knowledge. It's a multiple choice question. Every question have an answer. So basically, it might seem like a test of knowledge. There is a syllabus. Certain questions are asked from those syllabus. In a simpleton view, we can say that it's a test of knowledge. But when we take a closer look, see, every year the cutoff often comes around only 100 marks. The last year it was about 96, 97, I think. Most often the cutoff marks, it hovers around this 100 point. In a knowledge-oriented question, out of 200 marks, only a very few are being able to score more than 50% of the marks. So that thing tells a lot about what kind of question paper that UPSC is setting. It's not to test your knowledge, but rather the application and understanding of those knowledge. That's why people most of the people fail for the prelims, because what they expect is the direct questions that we often see for the MCQ types, and we try to answer questions with just our knowledge alone. We study so many things and we try to find questions that we have covered and try to answer them. So that's not enough. In prelims, the most important thing you have to understand is knowledge is not sufficient. It is needed. But beyond the basic things, beyond the basic knowledge, piling upon studying again and again and piling upon that knowledge, mugging up more and more is not the answer for prelims. What we have to do is we have to thorough the basics and we have to apply them. That's what we have to do with the static part. For the static portion, study these textbooks alone. You don't have to take any other textbook and study, just focus on these textbook. These textbook alone is sufficient for you to clear prelims, provided you study it in the right way. What you have to do is you have to thorough them all and then practice question paper by trying to apply this. So that alone is the answer for the static part. And for current affairs, despite studying so many things, we don't get direct questions is because, see, UPSC asks question based on the relative importance of the topics, and events. See, for the compilation, for the current affairs compilation that we study at the when the prelims is nearing, see, they have numerous data, but we will never be able to understand the relative importance between these data. See, if a topic is important, if an event is important, the newspaper will cover it again and again. If a particular term is important, we will often see it in the newspaper and we will study it automatically. But that thing is not available when we study the compilation. So what you have to do for current affairs is you have to religiously follow the Hindu newspaper. No compilation, no current affairs material will, or they cannot never replace the relevance of Hindu newspaper. The Hindu newspaper you have to read it religiously. So, while reading the newspaper, what you have to do is you have to go through the newspaper and you have to pick terms that you are not familiar with, and you have to pick events that you have not heard of, and you have to prepare notes about those topics. And also, it's not the events or the current occurrence that UPSC focus on, but even the terms and terminologies that are often repeated in the newspaper. The UPSC have a habit of picking them and putting in the paper. For example, a few years back, there was a question regarding Brent crude oil. So Brent crude oil is something that we often hear in the newspaper, that we often read in the newspaper. But since it is not a new event, it's a recurring thing. Usually we don't give attention to that. So that's not the way we have to do. What we should do is we have to read the newspaper, and every term unknown to you, you have to know the basics of it. That's how you will score good for prelims. So that's the way you have to approach the current affair part. No compilations and no current affairs video can replace the relevance of Hindu newspaper. You have to do, you have to follow the way I said now. You have to read the newspaper and you have to pick terms and terminologies and events that recur in the newspaper and make notes. So, we will go through the last year's prelims question paper, and I will show you how the things I said now was actually reflected in the question paper. See, the current affairs topic, public key infrastructure. See, public key infrastructure is not something that we would note down while reading newspaper. This term, public key infrastructure, it is something that's associated with numerous technological initiatives, with privacy security, with digital security infrastructure, regarding data governance. It all had this public key infrastructure term associated with that news. But we tend to ignore it because this public key infrastructure itself was never a news. So, have you been picking out terms from the news that we are unaware of? You could have easily gotten this question. Similarly, the next question, it's regarding a space mission. So, this question is important because I still remember that for the last years, the compilations regarding science and technology, it will have a lot of space missions. It will have a lot of space missions and a lot of scientific achievements. So while reading the compilations, we won't be able to know the relative importance of this news. But a person who religiously read newspaper, the Evolved Lisa program was mentioned 2 or 3 times in the science and tech column, and also in many other newses. So a person who had the habit of going through the Hindu paper would have easily known the answer. Similarly, for the last year prelims exam, there was a question on Denisovan. Which among the following mean the term Denisovan? It's an ancient human being. It's a cave structure that was explored recently in Northeast. It's an underwater reservoir. So this Denisovan term, one who studied the compilation, Denisovan is just another term among hundreds of scientific achievements. But a person who has the habit of reading newspaper, this Denisovan, it was completely covered in the Hindu's edutech column, the science and technology column. And there was a big photo of this Denisovan man being explored from under earth. and being studied by scientists. So there was a full figure of this Denisovan skeleton that was being explored by scientists. So a person who has the habit of reading newspaper, he would never forget that Denisovan means an age-old human being ancestor. So that's the importance of reading newspaper. Similarly, the golden triangle. This is not an old news, but uh, it is often repeated in the newspaper. So we have to pick terms that are often comes in the newspaper. Similarly, MP-led program. While studying the static program, it's less likely that we delve into the details because often this MP-led program we study it for mains, and mains we will only look at the analytical part like MP-led program. What is it? The issues surrounding it, the importance, and the solutions. So we won't delve into the details, but it was often covered in the newspaper last year for so many issues. So you are supposed to study it in detail. So that's about the current affairs part. The current affairs part, you have to focus on Hindu, and it's not the important events or the news that you have to focus, but you have to pick out the relevant terms and terminologies from the paper. Only that will help you um, get questions during the real UPSC exam. And in the actual UPSC Prelims exam, you will get 10-20 questions that are directly from the static topic. Like the fifth question. In India, separation of judiciary from the executive is enjoyed by anyone who has studied Lakshmikant will be able to answer it. Which one of the following categories of fundamental rights incorporates protection against untouchability as a form of discrimination? Again, if you're thorough with Lakshmikant, you know the answer to be right to equality. Similarly, consider the following events in the history of India. Rise of Pratiharas under King Bhoja, rise of Pratiharas, Pallava power, Chola power, Pala dynasty. So anyone who have gone through the Tamil Nadu textbook will be able to answer this question. So from the static part, you will get many questions. 10-20 questions you will get from static part. Again, 10-20 questions you will get from the current affairs part. And the next part is the most important section of the UPSC prelims questions. The one that will decide whether you will get through the prelims or not. That's about applying application level questions, being able to apply the static knowledge you have into cracking the questions. Gandhi impact. It was also a direct question. It was directly asked from Spectrum textbook. Wildlife Protection Act 1972. It's a question from the Shankar Environment textbook. Again, with reference to the period of Gupta dynasty in ancient India, Gandhashala Kadura Chaul. This Gandhashala term, it was mentioned in the Tamil Nadu textbook. So, most of the static things that they asked during the prelims exam, we can directly answer from the static textbooks that I have already mentioned. So, next comes the most important part. Applying application level question. Applying the knowledge that we have got from this static area. So, the next question. According to India's national policy of biofuels, which of the following can be used as a raw material for the production of biofuels? See, we might have studied about what India's national policy on biofuel is, but we would never study what are the raw materials that are mentioned to be used as biofuels in the policy. No one is going to study that. And trying to study each and every minute details in the current affairs portion is not efficient as well. We have to have a broader understanding regarding the topics, but not to delve into the details. So, probably most of the students, they are not going to study what these raw materials are. See, but these questions, these apparently fact-ridden questions, that are difficult to answer. Actually, what they are doing is they are not trying to check the types of facts or the facts you have mugged up, or to check whether you have studied each and everything for prelims. Actually, what they are doing is they are just trying to understand whether you have a broader idea regarding the topic being asked, whether you are applying common sense. See, one most important thing that you should always keep in mind, that always give primacy to common sense. That's the most important thing that will help you get through prelims. If a topic is very difficult, if a question is from out of blue that you have no idea about it, apply common sense. You have to take a calculated risk and you have to apply common sense to reach to answer. Out of the 10 questions you try to crack with your common sense and basic knowledge, even if you get 3 wrong, you're going to clear prelims in comfortable margin. Even if you write 4 questions using common sense and basic logic and your basic understanding and basic common sense, even if you get 3 questions wrong, the net result is 0. You are not losing any mark. So you have to take that risk. You shouldn't limit your attempts to the question that you are thorough with. Rather, you have to apply your knowledge to the questions that you don't know. You have to give primacy to common sense and think clearly. See, regarding this question, according to India's national biofuel policy, which of the following can be used as a raw material for the production of biofuel? So, anyone who have read through India's national policy on biofuels will know one thing, that see, it emphasizes on not putting pressure on food grade cereals and food grade crops. That's something we won't miss while reading the national policy on biofuels. That it emphasizes on not putting pressure on food grade cereals and food grade crops, because India's population is increasing and the available land is decreasing. So we should not put pressure. We should not put an additional burden on the already stressed out agricultural land. So that's something that we wouldn't forget from the national policy on biofuel. So the only thing we might know is that the piece of knowledge that I shared now, that not to put pressure on agricultural crops, not to put pressure on this food grade crops. So going by that, just read through the options. Cassava, damaged wheat grains, rotten potatoes, ground seeds, groundnut seed, horse gram, cassava. So here, I don't know about horse gram or cassava, but I know for sure that groundnut is one of the most popular. Groundnut is one of the most popular food cereal that's used in India, and especially North Indians, they use groundnut in vast quantities. So it's reasonable to say that groundnut seeds, most probably, they wouldn't be covered under this program. So what I do is take that risk, go by your common sense, go by your basic understanding, and try to eliminate options. So if I eliminate the ground seeds, the only option that's remaining is A. See, you have to take this chance. You have to rely on your basic knowledge and you have to take reasonable chances. Then only you will clear prelims. We have seen many people who knows everything but still failing for prelims because they are not going that extra distance. They are not taking that leap of faith. You have to have confidence in the basic things you study and you have to try and apply it to the questions. Then only you will be able to clear prelims. So next question. Under the Kisan credit card scheme, short-term credit support is given to farmers for which of the following purposes? Again, as I said, see, we know about Kisan credit card scheme, but we are not going to mug up each and every areas where credit is given to farmers. So use your common sense. Think about each words that being asked for the question, asked in the question. So what it is said is that short-term credit support. Kisan credit card scheme, short-term credit support is given to farmers for which of the following purposes? So it is said that it's short-term credit. Short-term, it's given for a short period. And read through the statements which does not have a reasonable relationship with or which cannot be reasonably funded with short-term credit. Read through it. Working capital, maintenance of farming assets, purchase of combine harvesters, tractors, and mini trucks. Consumption requirements of farm household. Consumption requirements is often a short-term credit. Post-harvest expenses, construction of family house and setting up of village cold storage facility. Working capital, I'm not sure whether this working capital is short-term credit or long-term credit. I'm not sure about it. Purchase of combine harvesters, tractors, and mini trucks. That also we can't be sure because what if the government has included that expenditure under short-term credit? We are not sure about it. Post-harvest expenses. That also we can't sure about it. The only thing that can be reasonably eliminated is the fifth one. That thing, that thing I know for sure that building house, it cannot be carried out with a short-term credit. Even the housing loans are for 10, 20 years. So it's not reasonably correct to say that short-term credit support can be given for the construction of family houses and cold storage facility. That's something that need long-term credit, and need long period in order to repay. So take that leap of faith using your common sense, your basic knowledge, eliminate that option. 5. B is the answer. Under cyber insurance for individuals, which of the following benefits are generally covered in addition to payment for the loss of funds and other benefits? So what does cyber mean? Cyberspace means this computer network. It's often associated with internet. Cyber attacks, cyber crime, cyberspace. That's something we know. We know from common sense and from our general knowledge that cyber means internet. Cyber attacks means like hacking networks, and also cyber crimes means stalking and pornography and other things. So we know what cyberspace is. Again, you might not know for sure what are the things that are covered by cyber insurance, but you know what cyber is. Go with that common sense, go with that basic knowledge, and read through the options. Cost of restoration of computer system in case of malware disrupting access to one's computer. Cost of a new computer if some miscreants willfully damages it. Cost of hiring a specialized consultant to minimize the loss in case of cyber extortion. Cost of defense in court of cost of defense in the court of law if any third party files a suit. See, from these options, name one statement that you can reasonably say that, see, no, it cannot be covered by cyber insurance, or there's a high probability that that damage is not covered by cyber insurance. So the first statement contains the word malware disrupting access to one's computer. It's the cost of restoration of computer if malware disrupt access to one's computer. So it's direct damage done by malware disruption. It's a cyber crime. So there's a high probability that cyber insurance cover the first option. So A can be an answer. B can be an answer, D can be an answer. So we can eliminate C. Again, read through the options. Again, the third statement also contains something that is a cyber crime, cyber extortion. So we can eliminate the option that doesn't have 3 as an option. So the pending ones are either to select from B or D. So using logic, we can come to this 50%. We can come to this 50% chance. And again, read to the statement to find to see whether you can find more loopholes in the statement. Whether by using your common sense and basic knowledge, whether you can find more clues from the statement. So again, the second option, it says that cost of a new computer if some miscreants willfully damages it. See, it's actually property damage. Isn't so? It's a property damage. Someone entering your house and destroying our property, computer, TV, say table, or the costly items in your home. That's actually we say with property damage. So I think it's reasonable to say that 2 can also not figure in the cyber insurance. So one reasonable option that leaves out is B, 1, 3, and 4. And that's the answer. With reference to the book Deshar Kada written by Sakharam Ganesh Dushkar during the freedom struggle, consider the following statement. So, see, during that exam hall, this might be the time that you might be hearing about such a book called Deshar Kada and written by Sakharam Ganesh Dushkar. And most of the questions will be in this nature. We will be hearing it for the first time. But don't get disheartened. Just read it again and again, and using common sense and your basic knowledge, try to figure out something that can lead you to the answer. Read it again and again. It, it's about Deshar Kada, story of a state, or Deshathinte Kada, Deshar Kada, written by someone. So read the statement again and again. It warned against the colonial state's hypnotic conquest of mind. It inspired the performance of Swadeshi street plays and folk song. The use of Desh by Duskar was in specific context of the region of Bengal. So use your common sense and read it again and again. So in the third statement, it states that it's specifically limited to the state of Bengal only. So when such things come, only specific alone, you have to think it again and again. See, unless it's a pan-India book, unless it's known by everyone, there's no point in asking it in the exam, right? So you have to take that reasonable guess and you have to take that risk, eliminating 3 and going for option A. So only by doing this, you can get through prelims. So when you guess, when you use the basic knowledge, when you use the basic common sense and guess to find answers, so you might get some wrong, but it's okay. Out of 10 questions that you do, 3, 4 questions wrong means still you are in the game. You can clear prelims. So if you need to clear prelims, you have to focus on building the basics, selectively study current affairs, and focus the basic, selectively studying current affairs and applying the knowledge you have. So only if you focus on these three things specifically can you clear prelims. So the program that we have designed actually focus on these part, building the basic static portions, then selectively teaching the current affairs area, then a live section daily on how to apply your basic knowledge into this cracking these UPSC questions. So now Basil will tell you a brief, will give you a brief idea on the the type of program that I have designed for you.
As you all know, we are going to start the 90 days prelims program. It's called Intensive Prelims Learning, or you can short, you can call it as IPL. Okay. So when it comes to prelims, now we have around 90 and 92 days to prelims. October 10 is prelims. So there is only 90 days or hardly 90 days for you for the preparation for the prelims. But when it comes to prelims, most of the people like having that fear that how to clear prelims. Some people even say that I just don't want to clear mains. I just want to clear prelims at least once in my lifetime so that at least I can go and tell my parents that I am able to clear prelims. So this is how these prelims become so hard to clear. So many a times what we found it by like training many people and going through many students and their experience, what we found is that the main problem is that people run behind materials. For the current affairs part, people run behind different coaching institute material. Think that for 1 month of current affairs, they are giving at least 90, 100 pages. So there is 12 months of current affairs. It will be comes around 1,200 pages. Are you like how you think that you able to remember these 1,200 words or 1,200 pages for the examination? It's impossible unless and until you are a robot or something like that. So one thing is that you are just running behind the things, or other thing is that all the people know that for the prelims you only need basic understanding or basic knowledge of a particular subject. That every from the beginning of the preparation you might have heard the keyword like NCRT, but you have never touched that book. The problem is that when you ask you to read NCRT, you think that this is sixth class NCRT. Why should I study? I already did my graduation. And you people go behind different big books. So what will happen that your basic understanding will not be clear. As Sunish showed you how to use this basic understanding to clear the prelims. So you need to have basic understanding. You need to have less content to study. And the other biggest problem is that when you come to prelims, you feel you will be confident at the beginning, but at the end of the prelims, when the prelims like hardly 30 days or 14 days, you start losing your confidence. When you start losing your confidence in 30, 50 days, you don't need to write prelims to fail the examination because you already failed before the examination. Once you do not have the confidence, or if you are fearing about the prelims, there is no point in going there and writing because like if you are written prelims before, you will be understanding that every time if you are losing prelims, you will be losing for 10 to 15 marks. You won't lose for 50 mark or 60 mark or something like that. You will score around 89, 80, 85, or some people 90, 95. So it's hardly matter of 5 questions. So getting correct to that 5 questions, as we show, you need to have a calm mind to apply your common sense. As Sunesh also said that you need to use common sense to get some questions correct, which you do not have any understanding, right? So to use that common sense, to use your brain, to work your brain properly, you need to be confident. So when it comes to the topic prelims, when you analyze, what will happen when you analyze the past 6 or 7 years of prelims question paper, you can see that 60%, at least 50% of the questions were asked from the static part, and 40% is the maximum they are asked from the for the current affairs part. The maximum they have asked 40%. That is 2016 examination. That is the only examination the current affairs, the share of current affairs questions has reached to 40%. So otherwise, the questions from the static parts are the always dominating part. That means 60% of question means if you have the well understanding of the basic books and basic understanding, you able to score 120 marks. If you are like if even 5 or 10 questions are going wrong, you can score more than 100 marks. So even if you are just spending your time in the books of your basic understanding of book, you will be able to clear prelims. But like many of people like why it's not going, why these people are not clearing that, that's a different question. So what our program is says that we have balancing this approach. We don't give you like in the IPL. What we are planning to do is that we don't give you 1,000 pages of material. We have analyzed the last 1 or 2 years of current affairs, and we will analyze these questions, this current affairs. From that current affairs, what is important for this year examination? For example, this year the density of our neighboring countries, population density of our neighboring countries are very important. Can anybody say why it is very important this year? Anyone?
CA,
Uh,
because of CA, NRC.
No, it's not. It's not because of CA. CA is based on the there is a clause of religious aspect. So population density is not important. Why it is important? Because last 2 years it was a pandemic year. So there is a positive correlation between pandemic and population density. When there is a population density is high, there will be COVID pandemic will be high. So you need to know what is the population density of the neighboring countries. Like how in the polity, you can say that this year Article 14 is very important, Article 19 is very important, 15, 16 is important, Article 21 is important because recently Ashwini Upadhyaya case, Supreme Court said that right to marry and right to choose someone's religion is part of secularism. So the term secularism also very important this year. So like that, we will be providing the material. You will be providing the we will be focusing the subject based on the importance. So studying all the books or like reading all the books again and again, studying covers to cover won't be helpful. But understanding where to study, understanding which all the areas UPSC asked the most number of the question. Fundamental right is the chapter which you cannot afford to leave because there will be one or two, three questions every year from the chapter of fundamental rights. So like that, you need to prioritize your preparation. So our program is designed in a way that you will be able to get all these things correctly. So before going to the details, I will be briefing how the next 90 days of IPL will be. Like how next from tomorrow onwards, next 90 days, you will be having this kind of programs. So every day in the like we have divided the syllabus based on small topics. So next 10 days it will be polity. So after that different you will be studying different subjects. So first day, every 7:30, morning 7:30, you will be getting a syllabus briefing. Syllabus briefing will be provided on the Telegram voice chat. So on the Telegram channel, if you open it, you can see an option join the voice chat when we schedule it. So you can join the voice chat where we will be providing you what to study and where to study these things. For example, we'll be stressing the areas which is very important for this examination this year. So, for example, we'll be saying that you should study citizenship chapter, and the term citizenship is nowhere defined in the constitution nor in the act. So you should know what is it, you should know this fact, or we will be saying what are the things provided in the constitution. We will be providing that what all the things, is there any citizenship card? So this area, we will be stressing this area, or we will be saying that the related equality, right to equality, you should know the meaning of equality, secularism. So where to get these things? It's there in the NCERT, this chapter. So like that, complete analysis of the topic we will be providing in the morning so that you can study based on the syllabus briefing. So we will be stressing the importance area. Later on 11 o'clock, we will be providing the past year question paper from the particular topic given in that day. So every 11 o'clock, we just not giving, we also giving a video analysis, live video analysis, how to get eliminate those questions using the methods we have just shown. So we have selected 600 questions from the past 6 years. Like all the questions, we will be providing a live session how to solve it, because by understanding how to solve it, so by understanding the elimination method, like many times you have, I know many of the people, like there are many videos available in the YouTube showing that you eliminate prelims question and all. So many of you all already watched it, I know it, but the thing is that they will be showing some 15 16 questions which they are easy to understand. So they will be showing that video, and you will be also watching that video thinking that this person is a really magician and you are not able to do it. So here we don't want to be a magician, we want you to be a magician. So not in the here but in the examination hall. So our program is a daily, by giving daily input of elimination methods. Daily we will be training how to eliminate. So 1 or 2 days you won't be able to learn elimination, but after, if you are following consistently, after 30 days yourself you will understand that you can have that approach, you can have that mindset of how to solve the prelims questions or how to approach the UPSC paper. So you will be getting that skill. So that will be by 11 o'clock we will be doing this program. Then by 2 o'clock, uh, thrice in a week, there will be module classes. These module classes, we are actually focusing on not the things which usually given in the books. We won't be repeating anything, but based on the current affair analysis, we will be selecting few topics which is really relevant for this year and some current affairs partners, we will be giving you classes for that particular topic. For example, we will be maybe we will be providing classes for the citizenship. So like that, which is very important for this year, we will be providing, or the position of Delhi government, state of Delhi government, and tussle between the lieutenant governor and the or new bill. So these are the current affairs things are came up in the polity part. So we will be providing classes based on these facts, so that you will be able to have a better understanding. When the question comes, you will be able to clear all or track these questions. So these classes will be there in every week, every 3 days in every week. So this will be 45 1 hour like duration classes. This will also happen in Google Meet. Then after that, every 4 o'clock, you will be getting 1 or 2 pages of faculty material. Why this faculty material is so that here we will be, if we are providing a scheme, we will only provide very important aspect, very important features of that schemes, so that by knowing that schemes, we are not saying that the same statement will come to the question paper. No, but if you study these features, you will be able to eliminate the questions in the examination hall. So we are trying to make you in a position that you should be able to eliminate all the questions with the knowledge you have, because you cannot remember every feature, but you can remember 1 or 2 3 features. By knowing that 2 3 features, you will be able to eliminate. So very important facts regarding maybe some schemes, maybe the past GDP trend, or how the GDP growth rate of past 5 years in agriculture, like that we will be providing the data. So this is 1 or 2 pages, not more than that. We don't want to give you a bulk thing to show that we have given a lot of things to you. So we are giving only pick and choose to material, which have we only vetting many times. Then only we will be providing that faculty material. So after that, every 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock, you will be having 15 questions test based on the syllabus given in the particular day. So this 15 tests, you can do it either on the 360 app, or you can do it in 360 website. So these 15 questions will be based on the syllabus given, and the explanation of that particular test will be provided by 9 o'clock. Okay, so this will be your 1 day assignment. So after every Sunday, so Sunday, first 60 days, there won't be any syllabus or any addition. You can do cover or things which is you are already lagging up, or things you need to do additionally. So every Sunday there will be first 60 days there will be 50 questions based test. Then it will be reached to 100 question test. So these questions will be there in the, or if this test will be there in weekly revision test will be there in every Sunday. So this is how the program planned. So first 7 days of this program, which is going to start tomorrow, will be trial. So to attend this trial period is open to everyone. You don't need to pay anything. Why we are offering such kind of programs for free, means for the 7 days, that we are sure that once you have attended this program, you will realize how it will benefit. So we don't want to say that this is our product if you join. We want you to experience the product. You want to experience the classes or courses. Then you can decide that whether you want to join or not. So next 7 days it will be trial versions. Everybody can it's open to everyone. You can join. After 7 days, it will be completely paid programs. So to join these programs, the cost of the programs is only 3,000 rupees. The payment details, account number, everything will be provided in the account. So you can join by Google Pay or something like that. So that information will be provided later. So what I want to say that to clear prelims, you need 3 things. Basic understanding of the books is needed. That means basic knowledge is needed. And there is a certain skill sets you need, elimination technique, how to approach a question. So skill set you need, and the confidence also you need. So by what we are focusing that if you are attending this program, we make sure that you are getting all the 3. So for the content part, you should follow your syllabus and module classes and faculty. You will get your basic knowledge to approach the prelims examination. For the skill part, 11 o'clock every day there will be elimination classes, or the skill development past year question paper analysis. 6 o'clock there will be prelims test short test series, and 9 o'clock there will be discussion, answer key explanation sessions will be there. So by 3 these things you will be getting basic understanding and basic knowledge and skill development. And the third part is confidence. So how to gain the confidence? How to gain is the confidence you gain confidence only when you understand that you have done the level best, or you have done the everything possible by your effort. Like, so if you are able to understand that, if you are get to know that you have done well during the 90 days of preparation, so you have done everything needed for this examination, and you done your best level best, then you will get that confidence automatically. Prelims examination is not hard. What is hard is this 90 days. 90 days. Prelims examination is only 4 hour time examination. You will go into the examination hall 2 hour, and like CSAT will be there next 2 hours. This is only 4 hour. So prelims examination day is not the difficult part of this examination. The difficult part is this 90 days. To keep that consistency, it will take willpower. See, as I told you, every people know that you need to study basic understanding of particular books, basic understanding of topic, NCERT books. Every people who come for civil service examination know these facts, and they know that UPSC only asks checking your attitude and analytical skill. Everybody knows that. Then why these people are not able to clear prelims? There is only one difference between people who clear prelims and not clear prelims, is that the first people who does not clear, they know it, but they don't do it. The second people who clear the exam, they know it and they do it. So if you know, now you know that you need only basic things and basic understanding of the examination. Now this is your part to do. By just joining this program, you won't be able to clear this examination. But if you are able to join, and if you are able to do, if you are able to provide from your part is just to do whatever provided and whatever necessary for this examination. So if you are able to do that part, we are sure that you will be able to clear prelims. And if you are 90 days of these programs, if you are consistently following, so we make sure that you will be writing mains this year. That is the guarantee we can provide, because always what is needed is consistency. So people are always fail to give consistency, and not like this examination is difficult, that's why you are not clearing. So this is always, it's a matter of consistency, matter of motivation you have, matter of willpower you have to be in this preparation and do whatever it's necessary. So I request everyone to join IPL. If you think that this program will help you, you attend the trial version from tomorrow onwards. Do whatever necessary and follow the syllabus correctly and take the tests every day. So if you are able to do that from the part of 360, we ensure that you will be clearing prelims this year. Thank you. If you have any doubt, you can ask now, like regarding program or anything. എന്തെങ്കിലും സംശയം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കാം.
സോ സിസാറ്റ് റിലേറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളും ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടോ ഈ 90 ഡേയ്സിനകത്ത്?
90 ഡേയ്സിൽ സിസാറ്റിൽ നമ്മൾ we will be providing test series for the CSAT, so you can do it by yourself. Test series ഉണ്ടാവും, you can do it in app also. We will be providing test series, and we'll try to give few classes.
Okay sir, thank you sir.
CSAT, yeah. So basically this program mostly focusing on GS aspect and CSAT aspect. If you are problem with the CSAT, I request you to practice at least half an hour every day after lunch time or something like that. Whenever your productivity is very low, do some max questions. And if your problem is with max, so identify simple area where consistently questions are repeating. For example, average or train and time, or the profit and loss, a percentage, work and time. These are the area every time UPSC asks 1 or 2 questions. So this you can predictable. So practice questions from this area. So CSAT, you can do that, and we will also provide some test series. So somebody asked, classes will be recorded. Yes, the classes will be recorded, because we understand that many people are working and many people are problem with the timing. So we will be providing you recorded classes, but make sure that you will be completing the classes in that day itself. Otherwise, it will create backlog. So somebody asked one more question, but that's gone. Can you ask once again?
Sir, I'm an employee. Appa namukku adu suitable aayirikkumo?
Yes, that's why if you see the syllabus aspect of syllabus, we have given small part of the syllabus, and we are not requesting you to read any other current affairs magazine. So we are taking care of your current affairs aspect, what is needed for this examination. Again, I am repeating you many times, what is the issue is that some people, your friend will ask you some questions and you will be completely confident, and five or some, like, you will be studying everything. So immediately one of your friends come and ask you some questions and you won't be knowing it, and you will get start tensing and you are going to read that magazine. So don't do
But
such kind of things. So it's like sticking to the thing. So come to Vaishak Gan's questions. The this timetable, this we will be providing all the classes recording. I think it will be, you are able to do it, the program, if you are able to spend at least 4 hours. So if you are working, I think you can spend some time in the morning, and the night also you can study. The faculty material which we are giving 2 pages, which you can read anytime when you are having food, or when you are going out for tea, or when you are traveling, anytime you can read. That is a very handy material. So that won't be taking much of your time, and the classes will be only 45 minutes, 45 minutes, and we will be providing you recorded sections also, that you can watch before you are sleeping, or like whenever your time productivity by reading productivity is less, you can watch these classes, so you can make it efficient, your preparations. So I think it will be suitable for you also, because uh, you will be able to do it if you are able to provide at least 4 hours of your time, because this is, at least you have read once, every book once, right? Like NCERT, at least you have read it once, so you will be able to cover it. Don't worry.
നമ്മൾ ആ സിലബസിനനുസരിച്ച് പോകുന്നതിൻ്റെ അല്ല പ്രശ്നം. ഇന്ന് ഡേ ടൈം നിങ്ങളുടെ 11 o'clock 2 o'clock ആ സമയത്തുള്ള വീഡിയോസൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ലല്ലോ. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു പ്രശ്നം
അതിന്
കൊണ്ട് ചോദിച്ചതാ.
അതെ, അത് നമ്മൾ റെക്കോർഡഡ് വീഡിയോ തരും കേട്ടോ. റെക്കോർഡഡ് വീഡിയോസ് തരും, അപ്പൊ നമുക്കത് കാണാൻ പറ്റിയിട്ട് പിന്നീട് ഫ്രീ ആയിരിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ പറ്റും. ഡോണ്ട് വറി, എല്ലാത്തിനും റെക്കോർഡഡ് വീഡിയോ തരും. Even syllabus briefing രാവിലെ 7 o'clock, if you are unable to, like, it's better you join in live section only. If you are not able to join in live section, there will be recorded voice clip will be there, so you can listen after some times, and you can, like, prepare. ബേസിക്കലി ഫ്ലെക്സിബിൾ ആണ്. യു ക്യാൻ ഫ്ലെക്സിബിൾ ആയിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അതിനനുസരിച്ച് സമയത്തിനനുസരിച്ചിട്ട് അത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. സം പീപ്പിൾ ലൈക്ക് സ്റ്റഡി ലേറ്റ് നൈറ്റ്, റൈറ്റ്, ലൈക്ക് 3 o'clock വരെ പഠിക്കുന്ന ആളുകളുണ്ടാവും. So they won't be able to wake up at 7:30. So when you wake up, you will be having these recorded sections ready at your account. But you just have to do, just follow it. Don't need to, like, stressed out or something like that. You just follow the syllabus, keep motivated, have healthy food, healthy study, rest assured. എന്തെങ്കിലും വേറെ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട് ഉണ്ടോ? ഇടയിൽ ഒരാൾ ടെക്സ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തൊരു ഡൗട്ട് ചോദിച്ചിരുന്നു, പക്ഷെ എനിക്ക് വായിക്കാൻ പറ്റിയില്ല. സോ ഐ ഹാവിന്റ് അഡ്രസ് ദാറ്റ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ. ഇഫ് യു ആർ ഏബിൾ ടു സെൻഡ് ഇറ്റ് അഗൈൻ, ഐ വിൽ അഡ്രസ് ഇറ്റ്.
സാർ ഒരു സംശയം കൂടി.
ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ
സാർ, ഇപ്പം നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഡെയിലി ഇപ്പോൾ 90 ദിവസം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇപ്പം ഹാർഡ്ലി 91 days ആണല്ലോ ഇനിയിപ്പോൾ ഉള്ളത്. അതായത് എക്സാമിന്റെ തലേന്ന് വരെ നമ്മൾ ഇതിൽ ഓർഗനൈസ്ഡ് ആകുമ്പോൾ അതിന്റെ കൂടെ നമ്മൾ റിവിഷനും അതിന്റെ പാർട്ടായിട്ട് തന്നെ പോകില്ലേ? അതായത് ഒരു തവണ വായിച്ചതിന് ഒരു റൗണ്ട് കൂടി 2 റൗണ്ട് പോകാൻ പറ്റുമല്ലോ അല്ലേ?
അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് ലൈക്ക് ഫസ്റ്റ് 60 days, ഇനിഷ്യലി ഫസ്റ്റ് 60 days നമ്മൾ എല്ലാ സബ്ജക്റ്റിന്റെയും ഒരു ടൈം റിവിഷൻ ചെയ്യും. നമ്മൾ സിലബസ് കണ്ടറിയാം. സെക്കൻഡ് 30 days റിവിഷൻ ആയിരിക്കും വരിക, ആൻഡ് ടെസ്റ്റ് സീരീസ് ഓൾസോ വരും. സോ ഇൻ വിത്ത് എഫക്ട് ദർ വിൽ ബി 3 ടൈം റിവിഷൻസ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് അത് പേടിക്കണ്ട.
സാർ, അപ്പോൾ പിന്നെ കറണ്ട് അഫയേഴ്സ് നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഇനി മാഗസിൻസ് ഒക്കെ കമ്പാരിസൺസ് ഒക്കെ എടുത്ത് സമയം കളയാണ്ട് നമ്മൾ ഇത് തന്നെ ഫോളോ ചെയ്താൽ മതിയല്ലോ?
വായിക്കണ്ട. Like, make sure that don't read it. Like, see, I don't understand how you people are able to remember it. Like, it's 90 pages of current affairs in like 10, 50, like 1,000 pages of current affairs. You aren't able to remember it. There is no needed. Whatever provide enough for this examination, we pick and choose you. We ensure that, like, we are not saying 100%. 98% of the current affairs will be asked by UPSC part. We will be providing.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
സാറ്, നമ്മളെ ആദ്യത്തെ 60 days ഓപ്ഷണലിലും കൂടെ കുറച്ച് സമയം സ്പെൻഡ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ടൈം ഉണ്ടാകുമോ, ഒരുവിധം സിലബസ് ഒന്ന് കവർ ചെയ്തതാണെങ്കിൽ?
If you have read it multiple times before, like നമ്മൾ ഓൾറെഡി ഈ 90 daysന് മുമ്പ് സിലബസ് ബേസിക് ബുക്കുകൾ ഒരുപാട് തവണ വായിച്ചതാണ്, അതിനകത്ത് കോൺഫിഡന്റ് ആണെങ്കിൽ, you can provide 3 hours to optional. If you are completely sure about it, like 3-4 times if you are read it എന്നുള്ളതാണെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു 3 hour ഓപ്ഷനിൽ കൊടുക്കുന്നതിന് വിരോധമൊന്നുമില്ല. Thank you. എന്തെങ്കിലും ആവശ്യമുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ there will be mentorship sessions will be there. Like you can approach us. Sunil sir will be available, and me myself will be available. Shobit will be available, and Reno Kurian will be available, and Georgina also will be available for you. So the 5 people are there. All the 5 people have good experience with the prelims, and they have been attending interview and all. So like if you join the program, do it well. Next 90 days will be your best experience, I think. So all the best for your examination. Thank you.